Hello, CD. Welcome back to Truth Matters. Last time we had spoken about John Wesley's quadrilateral. He never used that word, I don't think, but his four-fold test for truth, or criterions for truth: scripture, tradition, reason, and experience. Scripture and tradition comprises the totality of religious experience that one might have, canonized as it were in our Bible, recorded throughout the history, the traditions, the history of the Christian church. We might think of reason and experience being science. That comprises the totality of science: experimentation, prior experience, as well as reason. That would pretty much comprise the totality of science. Right now, in our time, and in other times as well, but especially in our times now, there are those who would think the only knowledge that we have of truth, the only way we could really know anything, finally, is by the scientific method. Excellent book I've had for a number of years now. Dr. Schubert Ogden's The Reality of God, pretty ponderous theological work. He says that the scientific criterion of meaning is not just one way of knowing for some people, but it is the only way. This statement, some 30 years ago or more, very well anticipates the new atheist and the trend of many these days who are saying we cannot know anything unless it's scientific, that all religious traditions, all scripture should go the way of alchemy, as Sam Harris puts it. All religions, all church traditions should just go into the dustbin of history. That is an active goal and aspiration towards which they seek. Certainly, this is not the case with science, that history, a very significant part of history, is ignored. There's a great statement by Isaac Newton when he said, a great scientist by any standard of meaning, Isaac Newton said, "If I have seen further than other men, it is because I have been standing on the shoulder of giants." We would not think of reinventing the wheel, as it were. To start all over in science, apart from the shoulders of giants, of those who have gone on before us, is inconceivable. What a terrible thing it is to reinvent the wheel. And I would say it's a terrible thing to start all over again in religious experience or religious traditions, for we are standing on the shoulder of giants in the history of the church, in other traditions. It is the experience of those who have gone before us. We see further in the spiritual realm because we stand upon the likes not only of the writers of the scripture, but also of Augustine, Wesley, Karl Barth, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, and many, many others. We see further because of scripture and because of tradition and the teachings of others. That's an odious burden to start all over again in anything. And we need not do that in our quest for truth and in our search for God. There is scripture, there's tradition, there is reason, and there is experience. Truth matters. Thank you.